Did you ever wonder if goth is dead? Today I'm going to tell you a bit about the past and possibly future of Gothic subculture. The Gothic subculture actually started way before it got its name, which came from Germanic tribes of Europe in the medieval times, and was then influenced by Gothic architecture, and later in the 1900s it was influenced by Gothic literature by people like Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe, and Abraham Stoker. And the 19th century, the 1800s, even provided the iconic color palette that we know and love today. The all black or jewel toned colors was a tradition of European mourning, which became a lot more widespread when Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert, died. And with Britain's influence at the time, everyone wanted to copy it, and so people started using black as mourning as a trend in places it had never even seen it before. And as the years went on in the 1880s, it became more acceptable to wear black for other occasions, for everyday wear, but it wasn't really fully a fashion until Coco Chanel made it one in the 1920s. Now, around this time, we're starting to get the beginnings of rock music, and I should do a whole other video about that because I can't go into all of that. But the influential turning point that came for Gothic music was after the post-punk era. So punk bands like Susie and the Banshees began experimenting with more mellow, more hypnotic styles, and they were the first post-punk band to really transform into a Gothic style. The most iconic song of Gothic subculture has to be Bela Lugosi's Dead by Bauhaus, with its refrain of undead, 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 that never fails to get a group of goths singing and dancing. The song is a reference to the actor who played Dracula in the 1932 film Dracula. It was in black and white, and he was buried in his Dracula costume, which shows devotion to his craft, and it's almost like he's ready to rise up again. So that was what the song was about, and it became a favorite and really cemented the Gothic music as something separate from post-punk. Now, is goth dying? After the 80s and 90s, when it really had this explosion with a myriad of all these different subtypes, emo started to take over in the 2000s, and with its wildly different worldviews, whereas goth was seen as sort of a positive thing, we all know we're going to die, so we need to practice individualism and art and learn about history as much as we can before we do. Emo was a bit more pessimistic, and so we clash with them a lot. And nowadays, there are new styles of goth that are sort of coming back after the 2000s, like pastel goth and new goth. These are not fully accepted by the entire gothic community yet, and I'm worried that this could be the downfall because we're not still being open to new forms of art being introduced to our subculture. So, is it dying? We don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Let's try to be open minded.